Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise, and myself, Jason, bringing you today a special whiskey review into the new and upcoming release from Paul John, being the Paul John Kanya. Now, it's also pronounced in English as Kanya, but the name in Hindi means female, which means also girl, and it also means virgin. Now, it's the second special release from Paul John, the first being the Oloroso, which I'll leave linked up here. This one was just released 3 days ago, and I managed to get myself a sample, and I really wanted to cover the review into this one, and sadly I didn't get, as you can see, just got a very little sample as I was pouring it at a press launch, and I wanted to make sure I got some for the whiskey channel. So I'm going to pour some out here, and let's get into the review itself. So this is a second special release from Paul John. I'm actually going to ping a bottle over there, and you'll actually see it's a nice red box, something very different from what Paul John have released in the past. Now, getting from my review style structure, I'll start with that and then we'll go through a little bit more detail about Paul John. So this one, in terms of age, is around about 7 years of age. It's one of the oldest expressions released from the Paul John Distillery. It's bottled at an ABV of 50% ABV. The actual cask selection are, I believe it's first fill American White Oak Casks. And the distillery itself is the Paul John Distillery. It is located, or is owned by, the John Distillers Group, and it's located in Goa, India. Now, as you guys are probably watching this, hopefully within the next couple weeks, I'll be out there and I'll be able to take you on an adventure around Goa at the same time to the Paul John Distillery, because it's a company that you probably know I've covered all the whiskey reviews of so far. Now, in terms of the price on that bottle over there, you're looking at around about £187. So that is quite high in terms of the price point, and that's something quite new to Paul John I've seen compared to all the other whiskies. Now, in terms of exclusivity, yes, it is exclusive. It is limited to, I believe it's 1,500 bottles globally, and once that's gone, that is gone. Like the Oloroso was limited, and that sold out within a day here in London. So this thing could probably sell out here in the next week because there's more of an allocation. Now, in terms of caramel colouring, Paul John likes to leave all their whiskies quite natural. So you can see over here, this is all natural colour from the extraction process in India, in Goa. So there's no caramel colour, and this has got a very nice, sort of, I'd say a dark amber colour. Let me know what you guys think at home. If you've got any Paul Johns, or if you like Paul John, let me know your thoughts. Now, in terms of Paul John's whiskey, what makes them different as an Indian whiskey is they actually use 6-row barley. Now, 6-row barley is much more higher in protein and lower in starch. And this results in a much more richer, viscous and thicker texture of the whiskey. Whereas if you look at Scotch whiskey, it's got pretty much a higher level of starch and lower level of protein. So this changes the complete texture of the whiskey. So we've got my new nosing glass, and as you can probably see if you haven't seen this, this is a special new glass which I got my hands on. I believe it's called a Luigi Grappa glass. And let's begin by assessing the nose. So, into the nose. So to start on the nose for the Kanya, this one is so easygoing, so mellow, but at the same time so fragrant. Tropical fruity notes of papaya, guava start on the nose, accompanied by a very nice floral aspect. This floral aspect actually reminds me of something called rose syrup. Now, if you go to any of your Indian stores, you can actually buy this. It's a rose syrup, which is actually just basically as it states. And if you mix it with milk, or make a milkshake out of it, it produces such a very nice, beautiful floral style in it. There's even a sweeter aspect behind this one, and it's like a Haribo, one of those Haribo red crocodile sweets, which are strawberry flavored. And there's that classic style that reminds me of the actual Paul John Classic, which I'll leave a picture of over there. It's like almonds, but this is more to say almond milk. And it's sort of got a nice sort of soft citrus character behind it, almost like tangerines. The almonds are coming back through, and this time I'm thinking more along the lines of sugared almonds. This is much sweeter as it develops in the glass. And stone fruits now come to mind. Soft, sweet apricots, ripe peaches. And those tropical notes accompanied by that almonds again is just, oh, so good on the nose. This has got a nose that you can just spend so much time with. So I'm going to go straight into the palate because this could take a much longer time. So anyway, into the palate. So next up, moving into the actual palate for this whiskey, the texture, the viscosity. It's got a very nice, rich, full texture. Mouth coating, almost silky as it rolls around the palate. This is luxuriously silky. It starts out with a nice, vibrant citrus character. And this is like a grapefruit, maybe even a bit of a blood orange. You work your way now into sort of almost like a summery fruit, away from those tropical fruits, into an apple, like a pink lady apple. And then it makes way for these spices, these mouth-warming spices. I was thinking along the lines of fennel. There's a soft peppery aspect. And then the floral note comes back in. This time not so much rose syrup, but rose water. Something a bit softer. And it's accompanied by that citrusy note now again of lime. Lime's now come in and added itself. And this is like lime zest accompanied with lime juice. There's almost like a licoricey note as well. But not like a black licorice. It's like a red licorice. Nice and sweet. But with a slight sour, I'd say not sour, a bitter character on the end. I'm going to have a second sip because there is so much delivering on the palate for this one. So from the second sip now I'm picking out these aspects of dried cherries accompanied by almost like that lychees, like those light, the insides are white lychee, which is a tropical fruit. And then that pink peppery note really makes its way very, very sort of known on the palate through the middle and through the sides. But the texture is so creamy and silky. It's gorgeous. So we'll move into the finish of this whiskey. We'll come to my conclusions on the new Paul John Kanya. So now into the finish. It starts out, as it sort of dries the palate, you're getting these soft fruits. Almost like sultanas drying in the summer sun. Accompanied by layers of honey. Now the dryness is coming through. It's like a vanilla oak. And almost like a chalky dryness. With a slight minerally note that leads right behind it. Like salt. But not overly salty. It's like salted almonds. Those almonds I've been noticing from the nose to the palate to the finish. Been very consistent in this whiskey. But overall, the finish for this whiskey, I'd say is along the lines of medium full. Yeah, it's around about medium full. It holds there and it's not giving away too easily. So overall, I think it's a really great whiskey. I'm going to give my rating. I'm forgetting all about the rating. Rating wise, I'm going to go for an 88 out of 100. Reason behind that is it's a great whiskey. The nose, I just absolutely love and adore the sort of nice aromatics of the nose. The palate, great complexity of the spice and the fruitiness. But one thing that really gets to me is the price point. 187 or 188 pounds here in the UK. That's Paul John's, mainly their whiskies have been around about, the special edition like last year, the Oloroso was 120. I think it went up to 150, but pushing that 180 now to 200, it's a big price point. If you do find this cheaper than, I say, around about 150 pounds or even 160 pounds, I think it's an absolute great buy in that sense. It's something very unique, it's a limited edition, but for me, that's the only sort of bone to pick with the actual whiskey is the price point, in all honesty. But minus that, I think it's very well put together. It's a very unique style as well, being the oldest one from the Paul John Distillery released so far. And it's very soft and gentle, and it really embodies its actual name. Now, if I haven't mentioned, Kanya means also Virgo. It's the 6th zodiac sign from the Indian zodiac. So, really interesting in that aspect, how they've combined it with a soft character and the name. Overall, the whiskey, at the same time being 50%, non-chill filtered, natural colour, great whiskey all in all. But that's my thoughts on the Paul John Kanya. Let me know your thoughts if you ever get a chance to try it, and also leave any suggestions of videos you'd like to see upcoming in the future. But on that note, this has been JasonWhiskyWise, Mr. Bananas, who's got himself a dram now, so he will be happy. And I'll leave some other Paul John videos here up on the screen. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and on that note, this has been JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video. Slaja.